This Jocks 94.5 podcast is brought to you by Millennium Satellite and Video. Log on to msbnow.com. TV excellence everywhere. That's Millennium. McElroy and Cubelic in the morning starts now.
Final hour, McElroy and Cubelic in the morning, 9 a.m. Wednesday, August 13th, right here on Jocks. Listen online, jocksfm.com. Apps in your app store. You can go listen there. We heard from a couple of other offensive coordinators, head coaches around the SEC. We're going to go to Austin, Texas, talk to Fozzy Whittaker, now with ESPN. Played for the Longhorns, lives in Austin, covers the Longhorns now, covers college football. And it feels like the offensive line depth already taken a few hits so far in fall camp, Fozzy, and that's a group that has to replace a lot of experience and a lot of talent. Where would you just say your comfort level is with that group right now as we approach kickoff?
Hey, what's up, fellas? Appreciate y'all having me on. And to answer your question, I would probably say that's where I'm the most concerned, even not just with the offense, but the entire team. If I had to pinpoint an area where I would love a little bit stronger confidence in there, and losing Andre Kojo obviously is a blow to that depth, like you mentioned, as he was trying to battle for that right tackle position. But it's an area that you talked about. These guys last year had one of the best offensive line groups that Texas had seen in a very, very long time. Multiple guys drafted, which hadn't happened at the offensive line position for Texas in forever. And those guys really showcased who they were and helped keep that offense afloat and continuously keeping Quinn safe, and obviously the run game, it was what it was. So having to replace those four guys, it means a lot. And obviously, Cole, you know exactly how that's feel, trying to get the consistency and continuity and the chemistry down with your fellow brethren. That's the most difficult position on the offensive side of the ball, is getting all five guys to work in accordance with each other, and doing that against people that are freaks of nature on the other side. And obviously, Greg, you know how important it is to have that chemistry and continuity to stay upright, and to continue to make the checks, or continue to put your offense in the best position to win. So it's an area of concern, but I do believe they have the right person coaching them. Obviously, Kyle Flood and his pedigree and what he's been able to showcase, and the amount of development that he's shown in his 4 years, now going on 5 years at the University of Texas, and having as many players drafted as he's had in the previous two seasons, kind of goes to show you that developmental strength and the power that he has as a coach, and the way that they've been able to recruit. And I will add a little bit of additional comfort with Kyle Flood being the coach, is that the guys that are coming in to replace the people that we saw last year, they have been in the program and in the system. So they're not seeing football for the first time at the collegiate level and against SEC competition. They've rotated in last year, and guys have experience. So that is a small bonus that I don't want to undermine with these guys. That'll be trying to keep Arch Manning upright for the entire season.
Well, the one thing I continue to hear about, though, is just a reminder that how good Arch Manning has been with his legs in fall camp. I've heard the offensive line struggled against those edge rushers. I get it. It makes sense. But Arch's legs can help this offensive line a lot. My only fear is, would he potentially run too much and expose himself to injury? Because we've seen Texas quarterbacks get banged up in each of the last 3 or 4 years. So how much have his legs been utilized so far in fall camp?
You know, it hasn't necessarily been a focal point. Like, it's not like a particular short yardage package or anything in particular that Sark has kind of, I guess, implemented, or at least that I can tell that's been implemented. But I guess the best positive about having a mobile quarterback, or a guy that can get loose in open space, is obviously extending plays and being able to keep his eyes downfield while being able to extend those plays. And if he needs to, he can tuck it. But obviously safety is going to be the number one priority, because you want to protect the valuable asset that Arch Manning is. And he has a strong arm, so I can see him escaping the pocket, still looking downfield and having an opportunity to really break open some huge explosive plays for this Texas offense. And I think that's where Texas is going to have to live against some of the defenses that they will face, is having to win on the off-schedule plays, right? You talked about some inconsistencies that may arise with the offensive line going against the stud talent. Well, that's where your game breaker got to be the X factor, and I think Arch Manning can absolutely be that. But I think Steve Sarkisian is going to be wise and smart with how he's utilized from a running perspective, and I don't imagine him having too many running packages like we saw him sprinkled in last year to kind of give Quinn Ewers some relief in short yardage situations.
Fozzy Whittaker of ESPN, former Texas Longhorn, discussing the Longhorns here on McElroy Cubelic in the morning on the Higginbotham Hotline. Something I heard Sark mention at media days, Fozzy, that I was not really aware of or had not heard discussed much more was Trey Moore sort of moving off the ball. An elite pass rusher. We've seen him at two different places be able to get to the quarterback. How much is his role going to be different this year than maybe what we've seen him do in the past?
I think it's actually a little bit more still similar to what he did last year. Now, his first year, he was more in that typical defensive end, right on the edge of the ball, edge of the line, kind of holding it down in a particular way that he was at UTSA. But last year, you see him move around off ball quite a bit. And I'm from what I've seen and watched in spring practice and heard from fall camp as well, that seems to be the kind of positioning that he'll take. And whenever we say off the ball, that doesn't mean he's going to live in the box per se off the line of scrimmage. That's just kind of his quote-unquote position listed on the roster. But the way PK loves to utilize his defense, kind of very similar in the same way that Anthony Hill, he lines up at middle linebacker, but then a certain package goes in, whether it's a NASCAR package or a different type of dime package, then he rolls down and becomes the defensive end. You're going to see a lot more of that, where he's going to be listed as linebacker, but he's still going to be playing that kind of defensive end / outside linebacker in a rush type of situation to utilize what he does best, which is get after the passer. So I think it just helps continue to make that defense a little bit more multiple. Offenses have to plan for multiple different looks of the likes of Trey Moore and Anthony Hill Jr. and Colin Simmons being rotated around, but I do believe it'll be a little bit more similar to what we saw a season ago.
What's the one thing outside of the offensive line that could potentially get this team? Because I think everybody looks at it and it's like they're stacked across the board. They're deep. They're well coached. They have good continuity on defense. They have great coaching continuity overall. But the offensive line, big question. Arch, little bit of a question, but still a question nonetheless. So what is it that can get this team if it's not Arch's inexperience or the offensive line?
Yeah, the thing that I always look into is the impact of guys that were, I guess, a huge part of the success a season ago. I truly believe the likes of Jahdae Barron and Andrew Makuba were the reason why Texas defense performed as well as it did a season ago and created the number of takeaways that they did. Both of those guys responsible for 5 interceptions themselves. And we obviously know Jahdae Barron goes on to win the Thorpe. Andrew Makuba, second-round draft pick. They were cerebral. Like, if you want to talk ball, you want to break down ball, you want to talk about getting into the best position to be successful, those guys erased a lot on the back end. And thankfully, Michael Taft is coming back, because if he was going to, it'd be a whirlwind of pain for Texas' secondary. But I do believe there'll be some growing pain, similar to the offensive line, right? You lose some big cog pieces like that. You got to figure out who you are, what your identity is, and how well you can adapt to the new situations that's at hand. I think some of that may be the case in the secondary, even though they have veteran guys that have played before. Muhammad on the outside, Gilbo on the outside, Jelani McDonald sprinkling in as well. And then you got some new guys that'll have to surface and make a name for themselves. But I believe that secondary is where, if something gets Texas, it's because they're not as buttoned up as we saw them a year ago with the likes of Jahdae Barron and obviously Andrew Makuba.
Anything that you've learned through camp, realized through camp, kind of found out about through camp that you didn't know going in, that sort of changed your opinion on this team or a position group thus far?
Yeah, a big question mark that people have is that interior defensive line position because of where Texas has been over the past few seasons, creating and generating draft picks, and then now you kind of like, okay, who's going to replace the stud guys that you've lost over the past 3 NFL draft selections? And I believe the addition from the transfer portal, you got Watson, you got Brevard, you got Shaw, and then the newest addition, freshman Justice Terry, I think is going to be an absolute monster, and Alex January probably be one of the day one starters on that interior defensive line. I think they're actually really, really good. Obviously, you got the edge rushers to pair with it, but those guys, I believe, will continue to uphold the standard of what the president had been set with Ojimo and Coburn a few seasons back whenever they got drafted, and then obviously Sweat and Murphy, and then even last year Collins and Broughton. I think they'll live up to what legacy has been left behind at that interior defensive line position, and I think that was a little bit of a question mark for me, and then a surprise whenever I start witnessing how well they moved around. That, okay, I don't think those question marks will last long once everybody gets a chance to see them in action.
Finally, Fozzy, looking at just kind of where things are and where the SEC is, what does success look like for Texas this year? What is the fan base's expectations? Is it national championship or bust? Or are they a little more reasonable when assessing some of the pieces that have to be replaced?
I think it depends on which Texas fan you're talking to and what time of day it is. Obviously, national championship or bust is the first thing that comes to mind, right? You see the number one preseason ranking in the AP and the coaches poll, and a lot of Texas fans, they just naturally gravitate to that. They haven't been here before. Everybody's seeing it for the first time. The Arch Manning effect, like everything's all peachy at the moment. And so everybody feels as though it's the calling for Texas to win a national championship. Sark been knocking on the door the past couple of seasons. Like everything comes together. And rightfully so, right? That's why you coach at the University of Texas. That's why you play at the University of Texas. You want to have a chance to win a national championship. But the more and more I start talking with a few people, then they understand that what happened last year in comparison to winning a national championship, you don't have to be flawless throughout the regular season. And Ohio State was a perfect example of finishing fourth in your conference, getting hot at the right time, and then going on a run to win a national championship and doing it in dramatic fashion against this very own team. So I think with the 12 teams and the way that has played out, it's kind of changed the perspective that, hey, number one, going maybe undefeated or staying as the number one ranking is great, but realistically, winning a national championship doesn't mean you have to play perfect week in and week out. It just means you need to play great and then get hot at the right time, and I think that's where most fans in Austin kind of settle in.
Fozzy, we asked this question earlier in the show with the AP poll coming out yesterday. I just be interested to kind of get your thoughts, big picture. But how many teams do you think possibly can win a national championship this year? You think could find a way to put things together, make a run, get through that playoff, and hoist a trophy at the end of the season?
Ooh, that's a good question. It's so many new faces that are leading programs, which makes it so difficult to tell like how good a team really is going to be. But that's part of our job, right? We got to project a little bit and utilize our expertise. Put Clemson up there number one just because I think they have the best passer in the country and a ton of surrounding talent, not just on the offensive side of the ball, but on the defensive side of the ball as well. I put Penn State up there for the same reasons, returning a great leader in Drew Aller. I think he continues to take a next step forward underneath Andy Kotelnicki, who I love as an offensive coordinator. Defense has never been an issue for Penn State. And then you got two monsters at the running back position. I always got to talk about RBs. Come on now, you know So I think they'll also create, obviously, opportunities for Penn State to control games whenever they need to. I look at Alabama as a team. Ty Simpson named the starter. It's his time, right? He's obviously been ridiculed in the past, but I think this is his moment. You got one of the best receivers to throw to, and Ryan Williams. You got running backs. You got a defense to help you. Kalen DeBoer, year number 2, getting settled in, so I think they have a chance. I also look at Ohio State, obviously the defending national champions. As a team, Texas, I believe, can win it. Georgia's always going to be in the conversation until they tell me they can't be. And I think for the most part, those are the teams. And at LSU, let me not forget about Garrett Nussmeier, who I think is one of the top quarterbacks in the country as well. I believe Brian Kelly can get it fixed and get all phases of his team in accordance, working towards that common goal. And I think this could be the year that they do that. And that's where I see realistically those teams having a chance to win a national championship this upcoming season.
There you go, Fozzy. Great stuff, man. Thanks for hopping on. Always appreciate the time, and we'll do it again soon.
Absolutely, fellas. I appreciate you all. And, man, football is almost here. Let's go, baby.
It's close. We're getting there. Fozzy Whittaker joining us on the Higginbotham Hotline. Appreciate that time. We'll continue going around college football. He brought up a name that I have wanted to bring up with Greg for the last couple of weeks. It's not an SEC team, but it is a team that people believe can win a national championship. And I'm going to ask Greg, does this individual need to be different in order for that team to actually go win a title? That's next on McElroy and Cubelic in the morning.
Go inside Jocks 94.5 on Jocks TV. Morning Jocks, Mac and Cube, and Three-Man Front video simulcasts are presented by Bill Smith Buick GMC and Game Day Men's Health. Watch on the Jocks mobile app and YouTube by searching Jocks 94.5 TV.
All right, welcome back in. McElroy and Cubelic in the morning. We have taken you all around the SEC, all around college football. We'll continue to do it. But a name was just brought up by Fozzy Whittaker when talking about teams a little bit more nationally. Can they go win a national championship? Will they win a national championship? And the name that was brought up, G-Mac, was Andy Kotelnicki, the offensive coordinator at Penn State. Now, you and I would both have Penn State at 2 in our preseason rankings, so we think they're very capable of winning a national title. I understand that everybody thinks history repeats itself, and just because things have happened some years, a lot of years, every year, they automatically believe that that happens again the next year. It's actually not always the case. So I don't just look at it as James Franklin's never won the big one, therefore they can't go win a national championship. But when referencing can Penn State win a national title, here is just a thought that I have about Penn State, and I want to get your response to it because you may say that I'm an idiot. You may say I'm accurate. I had Anthony here on my podcast this past week, and we previewed the SEC Big Ten matchups early in the season. And I stated this to him. Does Andy Kotelnicki need to cut down on the cuteness in order for Penn State to win a national title?
I think it'd be great. I mean, I'm not sure how anyone else can possibly get around it. Like, the creativity is off the charts. But in reality, sometimes you just got to go bludgeon your way to a first down. And we saw some similar things from Lane Kiffin at times last year. Like, just go bludgeon your way to a first down and let's figure it out. Like swinging gate formations in the open field and stuff like that. Yes, it forces the opposition to burn some chalk and waste time on getting lined up against things they might see. But when push comes to shove and you got to pick up that critical 4th and 2, do you have the stones to be able to go and do it? I think that's a real question. I think they can. I like their backs and I like their personnel, but that is a question based on his track record and history.
Let me ask you this, this is one of those addition by subtraction questions that normally people would hear on the surface level and say, that's dumb. But I'm honestly asking you this because I think this could be real. Is not having Tyler Warren possibly helpful with that?
No. But okay. I understand where you're going because you feel you
have to use him, right? Like you
feel like there's an obligation to use your best player.
Yes.
Like what you're saying is not at all incorrect, nor is it at all unfair. So yeah, I think it's a very real thing when you have a really shiny toy and you trust that toy, you expect that toy to get that first down for you. So yes, I understand where you're coming from, but I still think anytime you have a difference-making tight end that's a matchup nightmare that can win on a slant or a back shoulder fade or a QB power, it's kind of nice to know I have that in my back pocket.
Yeah, and it's something I've kind of thought about with, because at the end of the day, if you're going to win a national championship, you got to be pretty good at some of the hard things, or a lot of the hard things. And like you mentioned, short yardage situations, offensively or defensively, those are hard. Knowing that you have those shiny toys, but not just forcing yourself to use them in different creative ways all the time, sometimes it's hard to not say, hey, man, just give 44 the ball, and let's do it this way, let's do it that way, let's let him do this, let's let him do that. Instead of just saying, let's run inside zone here and pick up a first down and close this game out. It's some things that were on my mind with Penn State is in regards to them actually going out and getting this done and potentially winning a national championship that I don't know if they're real, not real, something that could happen, won't happen. But I do know one thing that is going to happen, and that's going to be the Jocks kickoff party. And you can be a part of it. It's not hard for you to be a part of it. There are not a ton of different people who are going to be able to be a part of it because we want to limit this to some of our diehard listeners to come out and have a chance to be able to hang out with us at Regions Park. So it's something that we do every year. It's something that we obviously love, something that we like getting together with you guys on. And, John, tell our listeners exactly how they can be a part of that Jocks kickoff party.
You can celebrate the kickoff to college football with us at the Bill Smith Buick GMC Jocks kickoff party at Regions Field on Thursday, the 21st. And the only way to win is by – hold on.
Got him. Cough monster got him. It's like when the old turf monster gets you. You got the wide open for the end zone there, and next thing you know, 25-yard
got
line.
him.
There he goes down. Face plant into the turf.
Not ever good. It's the old we used to call it was the sniper gotcha.
Yep.
Because there's no one there's no one around, and then boom, you go down. You just trip on the white line that's the 7-yard line. Yeah, you trip on the hash.
That Beamer sound effect gets you.
I blame
that's
the
why you can't do. That's why you can't do. You can't play on the logo. It's unlucky. It's not. You can't do it. You just have to take a sack to get off the logo just because you can't do it. It's unlucky.
Okay, now doing this again, you can celebrate the kickoff to college football with us at the Bill Smith Buick GMC Jocks kickoff party at Regions Field on Thursday, the 21st. And the only way to go is by winning a pair of tickets. By the way, this is the last week to qualify. So to enter, text the keyword football and your name to 205-834-9450. That's keyword football and your full name to 205-834-9450. Winners are drawn and notified daily. Remember, this is your last week to qualify, so make sure you get it in. For more info, visit jocksfm.com.
So there you go. Nice bounce back from the cough monster trying to take you down there, John. And he brought up something interesting that I want to talk to you about. We'll do it on the other side. But you bring up a funny point on bad luck playing from the logo. I have a totally different take on that, and I'll give it to you next right here on Jocks.
The capital of the sports talk nation. This is Jocks 94.5 and JocksFM.com. Birmingham.
Saber just made me aware of a new Netflix show coming out September the 10th, which, by the way, I haven't finished the SEC show yet. Have you watched any of the any given Saturday, any given game day, the SEC show on Netflix, T-Mac?
I have not. Would love to at some point, but not right now.
Yeah, I'm like literally squeezing in 10 minutes at a time. So it's it takes me 4 different sit downs to get through one episode.
I've heard it's good though.
I actually enjoyed it. Like everybody who says we didn't learn anything, Stanford Steve. I didn't know Brendan Traore was from England. Mississippi State tight end. They had a clip of his teammates making fun of him, like, are we going to get tea after practice? Well, I think that was Australian accent, but either way,
close enough.
It works.
Apparently, Shane Beamer's wife catches hell for the way she bakes cookies. I think that's in episode 5 or so.
I saw Roman tweet about how he wants some.
Yeah, like they look underbaked, which that's how they should be.
Isn't that good? That's
isn't that a good thing?
My wife and I had this conversation last night, Tuesday date night, about pizza, and we actually went to a spot close to GMAC that is famous for burning their pizza. And when I ordered mine, I said, "Can I please have mine not burnt?" She's like, "Excuse me?" And I said, "I would like mine not to be burnt, please." All these fire oven roasted, sit in there, whatever. Y'all burn y'all's pizza, and it's not good. You cannot tell me that you like your pizza crust black. There's no part of that that's good. And y'all think you're fooling yourself because this is what you're doing. I know what you people are doing. You've been told this is fancy pizza, and this is high-end pizza, and this is cool pizza. And so you tell yourself you like it. That's what it is. You're like, well, the important people like this pizza. This is how they do it in New York City. And you're wrong. It's burnt, and it tastes like bark. You don't like it. You think you like it, and you think you have to like it. That's the problem. Nobody likes burnt pizza crust. By the way, crust is good. Why are you ruining it? There's nothing wrong with pizza crust, man. I enjoy it. I like it. Most people like it.
You might as well get it.
Well, and some people like to get it black, apparently.
There are some things that are
carbs.
better burnt. Pizza crust is not one of them.
Give me something better burnt.
I don't know about burnt, but I'd much rather bacon heavily cooked.
Okay, what is better overcooked, let's say?
Okay, bacon. I'm not Jim Nance and going to say toast. I ain't saying that.
No, bacon crispy is better in my opinion. I'll give you that.
Bacon number one by a mile. I would go as far as to say, like, I love when I cook sausages on the grill, like a Kaneka, for it to have a good char on the side.
Crisp. Yeah, that's fine.
Maybe even a home grilled burger too, because the crunch on the burger is not bad either.
I got other things.
I'm with you there. I just don't want it.
Do your
I don't
bacon
want it on
first
the inside.
and then put it on there.
I don't want it on the inside to be like black.
No, I
on
agree.
The burger.
But yeah.
But if I can get like a good solid sear on the outside, yeah, we're rolling. We're cooking with gas there, if you will. No pun intended.
Are you any of you honestly telling me that if I offered you a pizza right now, whatever toppings you want, and I said you can have one with the crust and the bottom, a little bit doughy, like flavorful, or you can have it half black and brown and crispy, that you would take it that way? If that's, people really think that.
My dad prefers burnt pizza crust. Like, it's almost uneatable. No, it's almost uneatable sometimes. Like, he gets it super well done, and he likes flat, thin crust to begin with. It's like eating pizza off a cracker.
It's not even crust.
Like, I just have no time for it.
Yes, it's not even crust. They call that a flatbread for a reason. It's something totally different. It's not pizza. You're fooling yourselves if you think that's pizza. It just isn't. And you people that like this burnt crust, there's something wrong with you. There is. You just can't tell me you think it's better. I know what you think it is. This is the fancy pizza. Good for you. I told her to put mine in there half as long as they normally do and take it out.
Dang.
And it was good.
Okay.
It's better than normal, by the way. The only thing I didn't like about it is the leaves that they threw on it. I don't need those.
The worst
either.
part is I don't even know what place you're talking about. So
leaves.
I'm in a dark spot about it.
Well, there's only one fancy pizza place that I know about where you live. So, ambiance, great. Atmosphere, awesome. Other than I sat under a tree at the bar. But
So that's where the leaves came from?
Inside?
I felt like it did. I felt like the leaves on the pizza came from underneath the tree that I sat on that hit me in the face numerous times at the bar. But we moved, and then it was okay.
Why are you so tall?
Why is the tree so low?
Look how
Was
low.
it a bonsai tree?
It was not. I don't know what kind of plant/tree it was, but it was interfering with my vision.
Was it a maple?
He might have liked that.
It was inside.
It tasted like syrup. He'd have liked that.
It was inside. It was a plant with leaves hanging over the bar, but it did have branches, so I don't know what you would reference it as. Not bonsai, though. I know what that is. All right, y'all can call me crazy if you want, but I'm right.
You're not crazy. We're all on the same page here.
All right, back with more Mac and Q right after this.
Go inside Jocks 94.5 on Jocks TV. Morning Jocks, Mac and Cube, three-man front video simulcasts are presented by Bill Smith Buick GMC and Game Day Men's Health. Watch on the Jocks mobile app and YouTube by searching Jocks 94.5 TV.
All right, 9:39. Wednesday, August 13th, right here on Jocks 94.5. I've gotten a lot of text messages in on the pizza conversation. You guys can tweet in. You can call in 800-239-9569, 800-239-WJOX. I'm actually surprised to hear where McElroy went on this because I thought he was a burnt crust guy. Number one, He takes me as a fancy individual.
It would
and
be
most
on brand.
fancy individuals
It
like
would
the
be
burnt
on brand,
crust.
yeah.
So
Yeah.
You surprised me by getting away from that.
I am not a burnt crust guy, not a fancy pizza guy. I like greasy, overdone, like meat lovers pizza. Like I'm pretty standard fat kid. I just happen to be slightly skinny enough to play quarterback. But in reality, the greasier the better. I don't want your fancy stuff. I don't want your gluten-free, crust. I want the action.
Cauliflower
I want
crust.
all of it.
Yeah.
My two favorite foods are Chinese food and pizza. Like, this is not that difficult.
And sometimes you've even stated at the same damn time. Like Gucci and Bally.
I'd be lying if I haven't had a trio day of Taco Casa for early brunch at 10:30. Panda Express at, say, 3-ish with a little late night za. Like, yeah, I'd be lying if that hasn't happened before.
Okay.
Outside of college, that happened?
Yeah.
I'm just asking. College feels acceptable. Post college, I don't know.
Yeah,
but
sometimes you got to send it.
Unfamiliar with his game. Wow.
All right,
okay.
007 Dog tweets in burnt ends, which, yeah, you'd say that's something overcooked would be. Is that overcooked or accidentally
or like
just
just
part
right?
Of being cooked? Yeah, I don't.
It's not. Burnt ends really aren't overcooked. They're just lathered with like a sugary barbecue sauce, and the barbecue sauce is what's actually burnt, not the actual pork itself.
I'm going to stop. I'm going to stop this conversation right here because I don't need barbecue guy coming after me today. I've been there before, and I don't need it. I know that is.
But you're smoking
down
it.
a
You can't
dangerous
overcook
path,
it if it's smoked.
I just want everybody to know I'm not even capable of it. I don't do it. I don't smoke it. I don't do barbecue. I don't know how. I'm not talented enough. All of y'all are. All of y'all are the best at it. So congrats.
There we go.
Please leave me out of that conversation. I don't want any smoke there, literally and figuratively. Aaron Hubbard tweets in, fall off the bone ribs are technically overcooked and great.
That is true.
I don't know if it's over, under, in between, mix, must, plus, minus. I'll take fall off the bone ribs.
Absolutely.
Yeah, that's true.
However that happens, I'm for it. I am in.
That's not usually overcooked. If they are dry and or chewy, that's when they're overcooked.
Jolly
fall
tweets.
off the bone is easy to do. It's good stuff.
Greg is the one that's doing that to you guys.
He's the meat master.
Take that at him. Do not direct this barbecue perfectionism at me. I am not that guy.
It is not hard. It's literally fall off the bone ribs are the easiest thing. 3-2-1 method. Wrap them for the 2 hours in between. Throw a little apple cider vinegar in there as you're cooking it. Slight steam. Make sure you remove the membrane off the bottom. Fall off the bone ribs are not hard. It's easy. And it really, with like Traegers and pellet grills now, it's completely foolproof.
It's all about the apparatus.
I'm not.
You can also do it in the oven. Doesn't matter. Like it's not. It's
that
not
probably
hard.
just set them off right there.
What about
an electric smoker?
I am not an electric smoker person. I know Landrum is, but to each their own. I'll allow that debate to happen on the three-man front show.
Okay, got it. Jolly tweets in, famous for burnt crust. A pizza establishment has actually made a business of this? ? Country is doomed. I mean, I don't know if they market themselves on that. And it's not just this place, by the way. This is all of these fancy brick oven, round oven, tile oven places. It's all burnt. And some of y'all like it. And some of y'all say it's the way it should be. And it shouldn't be. It's not a real thing. But it comes out burnt. And when I bite into it and black crumbles fall over my plate, that's wrong. Should not be that way. And even with your little dough rolls that come beforehand, that shouldn't happen. Those things should melt in your mouth. not breaking your hand.
Okay. So you're looking for Sister Schubert rolls as your crust. That's fine. Like, we actually,
By
you know
the way,
what?
good Lord, that sounds incredible.
About to say, hang on a second.
Are
we on to something here?
Yes. Can we like have a co-marketing campaign here and like the Sister Schubert pepperoni special? I'm in. Sign me up.
Deep dish. You make it deep dish with Sister
God,
Schubert
that sounds
crust.
unbelievable.
Oh.
A pan of Sister
Oh,
Schubert,
boy.
cook the whole thing, put the pizza ingredients on top of it, and just go. I'm in. Sign me up. We'll have it right now. Aaron Hubbard also tweets, burning pizza is easy too, still overcooked. It might be easy, but it's not good. And it should not be acceptable. When you burn your pizza, you should throw it away and try again. Or give it to your dog. You should not eat it and say, this is how fancy people operate. It's not a real thing.
So you would prefer yours a little underdone than over?
If I had to have it one or the other,
Right.
keep it a little on the down. I'll take it a little doughy if it has to be, because I don't like bark.
I prefer mine over.
And
I'm gonna push
I don't
back
feel like
on that a
I don't feel
little
like
bit.
bark is an acceptable
That's-
pizza ingredient. But yet some
Now
people prepare theirs that way.
Now I've gagged a bit. Like that. Now I'm a little disgusted by that. The idea of having an undercooked pizza, like legitimately undercooked.
Now he
it's a
said
fine
one or the
line.
other. He said one or the other. Not that I'm asking for it that way.
Right.
Which, by the way, when I asked for mine not to be burnt last night, and my wife let hers go the full McCoy, she admitted, you're right, this is too much. See, you don't know when it's the only way they do it.
Yeah.
But then when you force them to do it your way,
you might be onto something.
but they've infiltrated your brains to tell you this is fancy pizza. Oh, this happens because it's in this special oven. Take it out earlier. And it doesn't happen. Doesn't have to be that way. And I should have said it on our appetizer. Because little dough knots or whatever they're called, which by the way would be a great name for garlic knots or whatever you call them.
right
dough
there,
knots,
right.
it's there. Just take that. You can have it. I'll let you keep it. Not fancy enough, but yeah, whatever. I should have told him that on that too, because she said it. She's like, these are overdone. But see, where they've lied to you is that it's fancy so you like it. Black, charred, bark, burnt. They make you think it's supposed to be that way, and it isn't. Stop doing it. You can control this. There's a way out, people. Just tell them halfway through, remove, and you'll be fine. You'll need it that
I don't
way.
know. The fancy pizza, I don't know what fancy pizza is. It's about as basic as it gets. If you know the history of pizza and things of that nature, like, it's not a fancy dish. Don't try to, what did they say in Joe Dirt when he introduced himself as Joe Dirte? Like, no, dude, don't try to church it up, all right? Your name is Joe Dirt. Like, pizza is pizza. It is not a fancy dish. It is cheese, bread, and sauce. It is as entry level as it gets, and it is delicious. So let's not try to mess with it, man. Let's not mess with perfect. It's ideal already as it is. So I'm not familiar with said fancy pizza, but I do know good pizza when I see it. And as someone that lived in New York for a little bit, I understand that there is an appeal to having some New York style pizza, which in some cases does have burnt crust. I'm not a huge fan, but if you're having a New York slice, that is not uncommon. So if that's what you're going after, and there's obviously a pretty tremendous market for that, I get it. Because there's a lot of people that don't like Chicago deep dish either. I think it's fantastic.
I don't think it has
A lot
to
of
be
people
that,
don't like
but
it.
just I don't need my crust to be black. I don't.
That's fine, but that's a personal opinion. I don't think there's like, I mean, there's obviously a whole host of people that prefer a New York slice, which oftentimes is slightly overcooked on the crust. So I think you could be alone here. I don't think many people are digging in as hard as you are. That's all I'm saying. There's a market for it.
Kevin Blankenship tweets in, fancy pizza people aren't normal. Tommy Wyndham, Sister Schubert made in Laverne, Alabama. Well, God bless Laverne, Alabama.
We know.
Home of Michael Mallard, a.k.a. Pup, defensive lineman at Auburn back in the day. Royal Payne, the people who like burnt pizza because it's high-end are the same ones who pretend the dude who put a banana on a glass stick at the art gallery for $100,000 is a clever artist and not a money launderer.
What?
What is he referencing here? I haven't seen this. I don't know what this
I have
is.
no
I don't
idea.
know about this. What is the $100,000 banana in a glass stick? No one? Anyone? Nobody?
Unfamiliar.
Greg hasn't been to that art gallery this year?
Not yet.
Not yet. We'll make it there, though. How do you prefer your pizza crust, Damien?
I mean, I prefer.
Because you felt like I was kind of crazy.
No, I would much rather, if choosing between the two of underdone, I would much rather have it overdone.
Okay. 800-239-9569. You want to share yours with us? Uncle Kirk tweeting in. Cole needs to stick with DiGiorno's or Totino's. Actually, the best right now, I don't know, Carol, give him a shout out, would be Trader Joe's. My wife buys the ingredients there and makes it. I think it's better than any other pizza we get, including super fancy burnt pizza last night. It's 10 times as much.
Could have made it at the house.
Good when you make them take it out early. Not burnt. Don't need it.
For a moment, can I
What was wrong with that guy on the phone, John? Is he mad at us? Is
No.
the show boring?
No, he told me about the banana stuff. I'm like, oh, okay, cool.
Love it.
What was the
allow me
detail?
to speak freely. I really would like to know the answer to this. I have never had DiGiorno pizza. Not really because of any other reason. If I'm eating pizza, I like to know what I'm getting. Is DiGiorno pizza legit?
I think I've had it like once.
Right.
It was a long time
Pretty
ago
good?
at somebody's house, like after a game or something. It's fine. I
On a
don't think I
scale
would.
of,
I don't
like,
think I would
Little
see it and say
Caesars-
I gotta grab
Right.
that.
On a scale of like Little Caesars to, I don't know, my favorite.
I'll tell you this. I
Freebies.
don't think that there is a takeout pizza place that I would have below it.
Facts.
Pizza Hut ahead, Papa John's ahead, Domino's ahead. What am I missing? Little Caesars ahead.
Yeah.
Sbarro ahead.
Wait, you're putting
Costco
Little Caesars
ahead.
ahead of DiGiorno?
Yeah, I'll put Costco ahead of them too.
Oh, Costco's legit. Costco's like on the high side of really good. Like that pizza rips.
So they're closer to fancy.
Not
No,
fancy,
they're just
but
good.
Good.
It can't be fancy when
Like,
you have them
I
cafeteria tables there. It can't be fancy.
Yeah.
It's
Maybe
way
I've
too
had too
greasy to
many-
be fancy. Also.
Yeah.
I think
yeah.
I've had too many Little Caesars pizzas in my life to like. I used to eat it regularly in college, and I think I've just had too many, and I just don't have the taste for it anymore. I just can't do it. I don't know why. It's like a food aversion. But I used to love it, and now I don't like it. So is it fair that your pizza taste can change over time?
Yes, just like everyone who thinks this is good, it has changed because people have told them that their taste has changed. People have told them that this is what it should be. And so therefore you're like, whoa, if it's the brick oven or it's the marble oven, we have to like it. Well, this is the fancy tile oven. This is the way it's got to be. Well, do you know? Just take it out earlier. Don't burn it. Walnuts wants to talk pizza. Welcome in, Walnuts.
Hey, good morning, gentlemen. It's that thin crust pizza is kind of tough not to burn. You know, what I mean, I know someone just mentioned something about Totino's, but it doesn't matter what you do with Totino's. As soon as you put it in the oven, that dollar pizza is already burnt.
I thought Totino's were pizza rolls.
I'm about to say, aren't those like the pizza pockets?
That's where they made their money.
Totino's
but,
were them.
yeah.
Oh, they're trying to do real ones
Those
now?
are those little
They
dollar
started with
pizzas that, granted, they're like $2 or $3 now, but they used to come in like boxes of 4. You used to get 4 like Supremes or 4 double pepperonis.
Put it right on the rack and burned instantly.
Absolutely, immediately burnt. Crispy right away. But I love thin crust pizza. You know what I mean? But that's just my preference. But Cole, I got a quick question for you. I have 2 comments. Do you like the Hawaiian pizza?
I'll have it if it's available. If somebody else wants to waste their money on it, I'll have a piece of it.
You're just not ordering.
I'm not
going to
go get it. No. Like my
Yeah,
wife did
yeah.
some super fancy, like not the normal cheese pizza last night with jalapenos and she's like, I just want peaches on something. If I can get peaches on it, I want it. And there's peaches on this pizza. It was good. Am I going to waste my money on it? No, I wasted my money on hers, but not for me. I waste my money on pizza I like, which is pepperoni.
I showed them.
I understand.
Wow.
I understand that
Get 'em,
completely.
Cole.
And then
I'll say
They
this.
did waste my
That is a
money on
very
it, by the way.
polarizing topic amongst our friend group. We have one friend that really, one of my best friends, that loves to eat pineapple on his pizza. And like that is his one request. I'm good for 1 slice. And I think most of the others are good for 1, but there's always 4 slices left of the pineapple pizza. Meanwhile, pepperoni all gone, cheese all gone, meat lovers 3/4 of the way gone, and usually we get some type of like margarita or whatever with basil and I don't even know what they put on it. Whatever, it's legit, but that's usually like 3/4 of the way gone too. The pineapple is the lone remaining. So do you do it to appease the one friend, or do you just say, hey, bud, no, you're eating what everybody else is eating tonight? What do you do with that?
Again,
You're eating what everybody else is eating.
But you want to be a good friend and a good host. And frankly, like, I don't mind that one slice. It's kind of like a buffalo chicken pizza. Like, I want one slice of buffalo chicken pizza. It's legit. It's amazing. I might be the only one that eats it, though. That's the problem. You know what I mean? Like, just one slice, just to mix up the taste buds a little bit.
listen, we've all tried certain things in life that we know are not going to be our normal. And we've gone back to normal.
Right.
It's okay to try something different every now and then, but it's not going to be your go-to on a regular basis. If somebody puts a peach pizza next to you and you say, I'll give it a shot, that doesn't mean you get 2 larges every time you want pizza. You give it a shot because it's there.
Right.
I'll try it. It's like the Elf League football. I'll give it a shot. It's tackle football.
But you ain't paying to see it.
When I need to grind on tape, it ain't going to be Elf League football.
Or when other tape is available.
Yes. It's like
Beggars
the Indoor
can't be
Football
choosers.
League. We'll go back there in the office and watch
the
it,
Wheeling Miners, baby.
but we ain't living on it. That's not Saturday night's main event, ever.
It's not pay-per-view. You're going to get it on Raw.
Oh.
That'd be more like ECW, I think. Appreciate Bill Connolly, Steve Robertson, Fozzy Whittaker joining the show today. A lot of good football information. A lot of boring pizza talk, because that's apparently what this show is, boring. And we'll try to be less boring tomorrow, 7 to 10, right here on Jocks.
This is McElroy and Cubelic in the morning.